Before I moved to North Memorial, I didn't feel like I was being heard at all.
Not many 18-year-olds go through the ordeal that she had to go through.
It is what we all need to be better at, because I feel that a lot of the reason she wasn't listened to is because she's an 18-year-old black female who seems disinterested, instead of an 18-year-old female who's running through her head, how am I going to live to raise my boys? We need to be better. We can do better than that.
When I got to North Memorial, before I even met Clara, at first I didn't feel like we were being heard a little bit. I mean, like I was being heard, but only to certain doctors.
Cheyenne was actually referred to us from one of the floors at North Memorial Health after she'd been hospitalized for congestive heart failure secondary to her pregnancy. Community paramedics at North Memorial Health serve underserved populations, generally that are affected by the social determinants of health. On our first home visit, a lot of what we saw with Cheyenne was she was exhausted to the point where she couldn't walk pretty much anywhere. Ultimately, her heart was in such a condition that any other treatment wasn't going to sustain her life, and she had to be a heart transplant patient.
I just had kids, and I've hold them like maybe 3 to 4 times before I was just like, oh, I can't do this. Like, just holding them like I couldn't breathe. I was tired. Like, I was really happy to be like, I was basically a newborn myself. Everybody was watching me, walking me, like everything. Wasn't kind of in the mood to meet anybody. I didn't really want to tell anybody what's going on because I already had so much going on.
The more I got to know her, the more I realized that that was not her being dismissive. That was her shutting down because she was getting overwhelmed by information.
Like with Clara, I was able to talk to her, and she was able to like help me put it in the fastest, quickest way to talk, so they could ask me questions and I just answered like that.
You know, if we were typically reading body language, we would be like, oh, that person's kind of shutting off to me, they're not listening to me.
She kind of took a lot of stress off and was like, okay, we need this done, this is what's wrong with you, we need to educate ourselves about this. And
she was nauseous the entire time, and it was a little heartbreaking to find out later on that one of the reasons she was so nauseous, or the reason she was so nauseous, was because her heart wasn't actually perfusing enough blood to get down to her stomach to digest the food, so she would automatically just get sick every time she ate. I needed to explain to her that we needed to get her medical care, and the appropriate medical care, sooner rather than later, that her heart was not going to be strong enough to sustain her much longer in the condition she was in, and that really our goal was to see her raise her children.
There are directions that we took with Cheyenne that wouldn't necessarily all be traditional for a healthcare system to perform, but we knew what needed to be done. We saw what that care plan needed to be to get her where she needed to be, and we felt like we were very supported from the organization in the efforts that we made to support her.
When Cheyenne had just had her breathing tube out and they were taking her off sedation and they were getting her to the point where she wanted to move around, she wanted a pen and paper, and so her mom gave her a pen and paper and she scrawled out "walk" because she wanted to walk. I think that was everything for them, because now they're getting her back. Now they're getting back their daughter, their sister, their mom. Monday after work I went up to see her, and I walked in the room and she said, "I've been waiting for you." And after we talked for about 5 minutes, I was like, oh my God, this is you. I never got to know you. She was this bubbly, vivacious, up, joking, laughing, smiling young lady. And although she was still Cheyenne, she was a very different version of herself.
I would like to say, first of all, thank you guys. Me and my family love y'all so much. Like, I wouldn't be here able to be a full-time mom and work if it wasn't for y'all. They gave me the opportunity to get to know them each together one by one, and they showed me that they cared and wanted to help me get better. Clara will say you're just invited to the cookout. So, period. When you come to Cali, we're gonna make sure we get you a plate, because you guys are most definitely family. Let's see. I'm gonna give you a kiss. Ooh.